You and
Yes,
I are going to be live in Bombay for our audience. Live.
live. A live slaughter.
Patreon subscribers, it's free live slaughter. It's free for you. But we will be there in Bombay, in Bandra, at Above the Habitat, which I know is a name that fascinates you because it's above the place, the place. But it's just a cool name of a place. It's Sunday, 3rd of December, and I think it's at 8 o'clock at night. And we are very excited to see you.
Yes, so please do join us. We're really looking forward to it. We haven't had a live show uh, in many years, so this is going to be fun. Again, we don't know exactly what we're going to be talking about, but if you bring your own conundrums, maybe we can answer some of those and then just see how it goes. So, yeah, do join us.
Join us, and finally, we will get to meet face to face. You may never want to meet us again after meeting us face to face. That's what most people say. But at
Yes,
least there is an opportunity.
yes,
So, Bombay, we'll see you on the 3rd of December.
yes.
Hey, this is a podcast. No, wait, it's a comedy podcast. Well, we tried to make it a comedy podcast, and it's not meant to offend anyone. So don't get offended, okay? And wait, there's something else. Oh, yeah, yeah. Listener discretion is advised.
Audiomatic presents Our Last Week.
Hi, Kunal.
Hi, Pal.
So, Kunal, I am in London,
Yeah,
grey black skies, and you just got back from Russia.
I did. I did. From the Ural region of Russia. Yeah,
By any chance, if we went further up from where you went,
yeah.
is that where Chengis Khan is from? Is from where the attacks by the Mongol hordes would happen? You're somewhere
No,
near those mountains.
is it the Ural Mountains are that side? I thought he was more Mongolia, south of that region. But maybe.
Point is, if you're from those parts, I guess it's so cold, you would want to attack any warmer place, no?
I think you just want to hit things. You want to break things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The weird thing is, though, the Mongols, the Chengiz Khan, all the great Kublai Khan, this that, they attacked all these countries and came all the way, to Baghdad and India and stuff. But they didn't stay. They went back to that cold.
I don't think they could deal with it. I don't think they could deal with pleasant weather. I don't think he came all the
That's
way
what I
to
think.
India. I think he was stopped by the Himalayan range. I don't think he was able to cross that. Right.
A lot of people could not cross the Hindu Kush,
Yeah.
and except the Afghans repeatedly were able to attack the plains because
Hmm.
I guess on either side we were protected by the Himalayas and the Hindu Kush.
Right.
But I suppose if Genghis Khan had made it all this way, you and I would look quite different.
Little bit. I mean, I'm sure there is some percentage of because I think his semen traveled quite far. So
One sixth of the planet is supposed to have some Genghis Khan blood.
yeah. So I'm sure there's some amount of somehow we are related, as they say.
I mean, like, there's one thing when people say, he's a ladies' man. They say
Hmm.
about a friend or whatever, he's a ladies' man.
Hmm.
But if you have impregnated one sixth of the planet,
I
I think the term can definitely be used for you.
well, I think there's a difference between being a ladies' man and being a man who's after ladies, like who who just
Yeah, yeah.
who
There's a
lays with
legality
ladies.
there. Yeah,
Yeah, I think there's a
yeah.
technicality. One is that the ladies are also into you, and one is
Consensual.
that you are only
Yeah,
into the ladies. It's a little
yeah,
different.
correct. I mean, if you're going around countries not asking the ladies
Yeah,
for
I don't.
permission, but we are
Yeah,
chopping their husband's head off,
yeah,
it's not
and
the
then
same.
saying, I'm a ladies' man. I think it's a little different.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think holding the ladies at gunpoint or
Yeah.
sword point is little bit different. You are in Russia. I just have one quick question before I start my conundrum, which is, do you have a long winter coat? You know, like the sort that Stalin used to wear. Like, do you have anything like that?
I ended up wanting one while I was there, and very much like Stalin's, like something that was just very dire and long and ended below my knees and was just like, one solid color, something like that, where you walk into a
Black.
room and it's
Yeah.
just like black, like it's. But I didn't find anything. I didn't have enough time. I was barely there for 2 days. But the one that I had, I unfortunately had to borrow from my dad because living in Bombay, I don't think you get much opportunity, or we don't have much space to even store these things, which are quite useless for us. So I ended up borrowing my dad's, which was about the size of, I think it was more like one of those covers for a car, like when you have a large
Yeah.
SUV and you need to cover it on a vacation. It seemed like that because it didn't fit, like I had a very large suitcase and it occupied half of that suitcase.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um
It's like a tent. It's like a tent and an igloo and a home and a piece of clothing all in one.
all of that, and the zip didn't work, so I ended up with this huge jacket which occupied half my suitcase. I took it out very excitedly that I'm going to be absolutely fine, this is, and it was very warm. But the zip had broken, so it was like, one of those zips where you take it up halfway and then the bottom has opened, and then you take it up for, then you take it down and it starts zipping on its way down. And it's very frustrating because the rules of the zip have been sort of inversed. You just feel
The
like
rules are
science,
broken. I mean,
the rules are broken. Yeah.
all my zips are like that. See, you are not a proper person with a belly. I am.
Hmm. Hmm.
And my zips burst in various situations. Like when I sit down in a theater, psh, I'll
Hmm.
hear a
Hmm.
noise and I know what's happened.
Hmm.
Sometimes my zips go anti gravity because my
Hmm.
belly pushes so much
Hmm.
that it zips up on its own. Like suddenly I'll find myself all zipped up when I don't want to be. Um, because the zip has worked,
It's way up.
against the
It's
power of
was
gravity.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it's
You know, it's
obeying the forces of the lard that's under it. So it's like
yeah, it's obeying a different law.
it's a different law.
Sometime
The
yesterday I was
law of the
walking and I
lard
don't know
is what it's called. Lard's
the
law.
law of the lard, the law of the butter that's in my stomach.
Yeah.
My belly can do things with zipped up winter clothes that I don't think yours can.
No, I did struggle, but what I have found, Pal, is that generally I'm not used to wearing jackets and sweaters, and then I'm wearing an inner and a thick shirt. I'm wearing at least 4 layers, and I have found that I have injured myself very often just trying to get in and out of jackets. Like my arm is in some contorted position. I'm getting a sprain. Like I get a shooting pain in my shoulder. Suddenly, like there are layers that I can't deal with. But I just feel, I don't know, the most I've felt my age in the last few months has been when I've had to climb in and out of these warm clothes. I found it so restrictive that you feel like you've got these balls under your armpits where your arms can't touch your sides also, and you feel like, and then you can't reach into your pocket if you're squeezing against it's a very painful, horrible way to live, where you're fighting against your own clothes and your own material, and like it's I mean, I feel like a stuffed toy. I feel like a stuffed toy just moving, bouncing around things. And you're right, I can't pick up things. You want to look cool. You want to feel like, oh, I'm wearing like a thick woolen blazer, and you want to feel cool. You want to feel like, oh, I want to be the person who wears these clothes, but you can't. You just end up looking like a fool.
You fail, you fail. I think it's our tropical constitution also because we wear shirts I mean, look at these tall. This is the main difference between, I think, white people and, or, people from these regions and us. Because you
Hmm.
see in the morning, these women wearing these very cool jackets, 3, 4 layers, but they can navigate phone, makeup, texting. Like they can navigate stuff. They're flexible with their warm jackets.
And they're
Whereas
wearing
I'm
these
I'm like
tights.
a
They wear
like
these tights underneath, which look like there's nothing. Like it's just like they're these skinny.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, what is
tights
what is
and
going
heels,
on? What is happening over
and
here?
they can run around and stuff. Whereas me, by the time I get my subway card, I have my pant has burst from the back. If I bend down, then I need two people who work in that underground station to kind of straighten me up.
Yeah.
So I become like one of those floating, like one of those punch me dolls. Like, I look like one of those, but a person. Like I feel like if you poke me, I'd start floating.
Or that
Like one of
you'd
those
fall back
helium.
and come back like hit me dolls, the ones where you
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah. Pajum. I'm
yeah.
just entirely made of cushions. Not a real person.
And this is why I hate it when people start romanticizing warm clothes. And they start saying, oh, it's so
Yeah.
lovely. In the north, we get to wear these wonderful cold. Keep it, wear it. Just keep those clothes, wear those clothes. I don't care. We get to wear these jackets and blazers. I don't give a shit. Wear it, please.
Yeah.
Just, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to be close to it. I just want to wear t-shirt, shorts, chappals. That's all. I don't want to even look at these clothes. It's cumbersome and it's painful.
Also, sometimes, like, like if, say, you're in those 4, 5 layers and you get a bit of pain, like, like something's hurting in the body, it takes me a long time to realize where it's coming from. Like, is it like you get disoriented with so many layers? You're like, is it one of the layers? Is it my bum? Is it my neck?
Yeah.
Then do I need to get home and take off all my clothes to recognize my tropical body? I
Hmm.
feel like we have a tropical body
Hmm.
where it's just bush shirts and shorts where you can largely know what is going on where.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I have a few layers of clothing, broadly this is what's going on. And then when you put on this, like I remember when I went to Oslo during the winter
Hmm.
earlier this year, I also had a one piece body suit.
Hmm. Hmm.
Those
Hmm.
things that they
Yeah.
wear in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
theater. It's like
Yeah.
a,
Yeah.
because it's a body warmer. You wear a one
Yeah. Yeah.
piece like body suit,
Yes.
and I look like those people that play like sprites or angels in those Shakespearean
Hmm.
plays.
Hmm. Hmm.
They wear those body suits and run around. And it's like
Yeah.
dance
Yeah. Yeah.
companies wear it.
Correct.
For warmth.
Like a leotard kind of thing. It's like a full body thing.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
after, exactly, it's a leotard. Exactly, that's what it is. After a while, I started thinking, is this my body now? Like, because it was so cold, I'd have it
Hmm.
on all the time,
Hmm. Hmm.
and it just felt like, it's like skin on top of skin.
Yeah.
Like you get used to it because you can't take it off. Take it off, you're freezing.
Hmm.
And I'm like, is this how it is for Norwegian people, that they haven't actually seen what their body looks like?
Yeah.
Whereas we in the heat, we are quite disgusting. Like we'll sit there. I once went to see a cricket match in Calcutta on a very hot day.
Hmm.
And the guy next to me had just first 5 overs, he had taken off his shirt.
Hmm.
And he was sitting there in a ganji,
Hmm.
slowly eating jalebis.
Hmm.
Not a care in the world. He was one with his body. He had no issues.
And if he
So
had a
I'm like,
scratch, if he had a scratch, he could address
he
it
knew.
immediately. He knew.
He knew.
I and
He knew. He's
like
like,
the
oh, it's from the knee. Okay.
yeah,
He
I got
knew.
it. Here, if you have a scratch, okay, you don't know which layer is causing that scratch, and you don't even know
It
exactly.
could
You
be.
know a general area, but like you don't know whether it's whether it's your inners, whether it's the shirt, whether it's the t-shirt, whether it's the jacket. It's like what is causing this itchiness? I don't know.
Yeah, where is it? Well, you can't discover what's inside you. Like, there can't be storerooms inside your body. It's just a body, right? You can't have so many layers, that it just becomes a thing. Anyway, Kunal, very quick conundrum. Very
Hmm.
quick conundrum. I had to ask you, is there a right time to send someone a WhatsApp? Because I'll tell you what happened. I had a
Hmm.
friend who sent another friend a WhatsApp. And that friend said, oh, it's midnight. I'll get back to you tomorrow. It was some work related thing. And the friend who sent the WhatsApp was like, oh, I didn't realize there was a time to send the WhatsApp. And maybe I shouldn't have sent it at midnight. But also, the friend who sent the WhatsApp said, if you have a problem with receiving the WhatsApp at midnight, most etiquette suggests then don't tell me it's midnight. Just ignore my WhatsApp. Send the reply in the morning. Typically, people send WhatsApps all the time, anytime, midnight, 4 in the morning, because they don't know where you are in the world. You don't know where they are in the world. WhatsApps keep going out at weird hours. And isn't the etiquette to just ignore it?
Hmm.
I just want your view on this.
Well, I think that some thought can be given to when you send the WhatsApp. I feel that sometimes when you send the WhatsApp and if you feel and if you can tell whether the WhatsApp has been read, it's blue, two ticks and they're blue, then you know, okay, the person has seen the WhatsApp, has read the WhatsApp, because that's also a problem with WhatsApp is that you can see, like with the email, it's not the issue, right? Like you send the email, you don't know whether the person has seen it, read it, they'll respond when they have to respond. On WhatsApp, most often you can tell whether the person has seen it and read it. And now you're wondering, is this person now going to be nice enough, excited enough, enthusiastic enough to respond immediately, or going to take like 6 hours, 10 hours, 2 days to respond? So then that determines what kind of relationship, or that whether this person is just purposely doing it. Okay, so this person finds it very important to respond to me or not respond to me. So there's a lot of etiquette that goes in the time between seeing the WhatsApp and responding. So it gets trickier with
I
WhatsApp.
get, yeah, I get very annoyed by people who are like, I know you saw my WhatsApp. I know you saw my WhatsApp. And I'm like, why are you tracking me, man? There are people who see the blue tick and expect a reply right then. I think of WhatsApp almost like voicemail. Like I'll send it and forget about it. And when it comes, it comes. But the bad part about that, about WhatsApp, the reason we shouldn't look at it all the time is you might get a reply to a thing that you sent many weeks ago. Like say they write back saying the amount after tax is 6,12,000. And you're like, what is this? What? Like, oh, that WhatsApp I sent for that estimate. Okay. So the thing is that you're going about your day and your day sometimes gets hit by WhatsApps from the past.
And also because it's kept track of it, right above it is your last WhatsApp
Yeah.
to that person. Could have been yesterday, could have been 2 years ago. And then who sent the last message, and how did our last conversation end? Did I not respond to the last message? Did this WhatsApp conversation die a good death, an unnatural death? Did the person make a joke and I
Yeah.
didn't keep a smiley, I didn't put a heart, I didn't give a hug at the end, and they just said something and then it just died, and now they're having to pick up that conversation on that horrible note of which there's a track right above it, so
Yeah. Yeah. The
so the
history
what
of your life is in WhatsApp.
of your
Yeah.
relationship, and I think that that is the problem, is that with an email or with a phone call you can disregard what has gone before, and say, when did we chat last? Okay, okay. Or the email fresh, you don't have to, it's not a thread, it's a fresh email, fresh start. With WhatsApp, the last thing on which it ended is there as a living proof of the status of who shat on who in this last conversation, so it's very evident what has transpired between you and this person. And that's the problem, is that you can't start afresh, you can't start like,
No.
Arey, haan, so then you have to say, it's a problem. Sometimes you think of a person and then you go to their name on WhatsApp and then you check, oh shit, this is how this ended. Forget it. I won't call this person only. I won't.
Yeah, it's over.
It's
Yeah.
over.
It's over.
Otherwise, I'm going to
The
have to
history of.
message the person. I'll try messaging them or I'll have to call them, but I can't pick it up on this note because this is horrible. What has last happened on WhatsApp?
I think WhatsApps need their own, like, like I think now you need a via media for WhatsApps. Because like sometimes I'll get a WhatsApp that'll say onions today question mark from Nandu vegetables. And immediately after that, it'll be like, Anuvab, thank you for that pitch, for that documentary you had sent us in 1997. We read it. We think it has potential. So that is a message from the past that's resurfacing. And the immediate one after that is from my London Airbnb landlord saying, home, care for some lunch, question mark. So mentally, how many time zones am I playing with? That's the thing.
Yeah, and it's all very like you have to access all of it on WhatsApp. No, like even I get the message saying eggs today, fresh have come. Like that.
Yeah.
That's the like
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. And
And
you're in Russia. You know
I'm
what I
in
mean? You're
Russia,
deep
but
inside Russia.
yeah, but it's there, and because you read everything that's there on WhatsApp.
And imagine
So
your choices are, hi, I'm your driver for Russian driver for the film festival. I'm downstairs. what is your room number, and immediately after that it's eggs today. So both are asking for your current attention,
Yeah.
but the other guy doesn't know you're in Russia. So
Hmm.
then you have to do a geographic now also. Geographic, so eggs has to be put into a different category. Because
Yeah.
there's no point telling the ex guy I am out of Bombay, etc. Like
It's too
that's more
much.
life. Too much. Too
Yeah.
much. Speaking of which, Kunal, conundrum from you. You had a interesting time in Russia at immigration.
Yeah. I
Tell our listeners the name of the town and where it is.
So I went to a city called Yekaterinburg. Y-E and then Katerinburg. So I don't know exactly how you say it, but it's a town in Russia, and I had to go to a place, a smaller town close by called Verkhnya Pishma, which was a town close to that, for where there was a youth film festival for young people. So I was excited to go to this place. It's a, it's an obscure place. It isn't on any tourist destination sort of thing. It's in the Ural region of Russia. It's a mining town there, the copper capital of Russia and of the region. And they like 60-70% of Europe and Russia's copper comes from there. But they were having this film festival. They, as in this gentleman was had organized it. So at the immigration, the thing is that in the current situation, and I think at any point in time, they don't get too many tourists, you know, and especially at this time, I was the only I was the only Asian person. I think I was the maybe one of two foreigners who were there in the immigration line that day or that evening. And they were quite confused. They were quite confused as to why I was coming in. And I
Why?
don't blame them. I don't blame them. Why at this time and why to this place? So they stopped me, and then they started interrogating me, and they started asking me some questions, and I got them to speak to the gentleman who had invited me. After which they took my phone and started going through my phone, and they said, now we are going to go through phone, and then border security, whatever. And then they went through my phone for about 10 minutes, and there was nothing much on my phone. So I was like, yeah, okay, you can go through my phone. But then I guess they took the serial number of the phone, and now they can tap it and they can probably track it. So because they're suspicious, and I don't blame them. That's the thing, is that I don't blame, like, who in their right mind would go right now to that region
So it's
and
it's the it's the opposite, right? So in America, I guess there's a lot of checks at immigration because they're like everyone wants to come here.
yeah,
So do you deserve to be here? Those are the
correct,
questions. Here,
correct.
it's the opposite. Nobody wants to come here. Why are you here?
Why are you here? Yeah.
Very quickly, I found this, and I'm surprised. Why in India we don't have more places where people are like, "Why are you coming here?" Like for example, there should be certain areas, like I don't know, maybe uh, I don't know, Noida. I don't know because I'm careful of naming a place because one of our listeners could be like, "Arey, I'm from there. Why? What are you saying shit things about my city or whatever?" So I don't want to name any, but there's got to be some place in India,
See,
some
I have been to
Mirzapur
Unnao.
type place.
I've been to Unnao.
Unnao,
Unnao
yeah,
is
yeah.
quite a. It's off Kanpur. It's not even Kanpur. It's bad. And I'm sure even if we have listeners in Unnao, they would also agree that it isn't idyllic. You know.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
there
if
be like there should
yeah,
be a immigration officer there,
yeah.
not just in Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta, in the main airports, because that is understandable. You're coming into a big Indian city. There should be someone at an immigration officer in Unnao saying, "Why, what business do you have here?
What are you
Why?
doing?
I live here and I don't want to live here." Last conundrum, Kunal, because we've talked a lot about clothes fitting. This has been an episode of broken zips and Chengis Khan. Um, I had to host a corporate event in London. That's the reason I came. And I had to wear a tuxedo in a five-star hotel. Have you ever worn a tuxedo?
I have not. I've just worn a suit. I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever worn a tux. Maybe a three-piece suit I might have worn once, maybe for an event or something. Someone stitched it. But I don't think I've ever worn a proper tuxedo, no.
So let me tell you, the big downside of a tuxedo is you can't put a belt on the trouser.
Hmm.
And my conundrum was that the trousers were being held up, but the shirt was tight, so the shirt was popping out.
Hmm.
And you have to wear a dress shirt with the tuxedo. It's a different
Hmm.
kind of shirt
Yeah, yeah.
because a bow tie goes with it. You know, it's a
And the double
white
cuff
shirt,
and
but
all
it's
of
got
that with
these.
the, yeah.
It's got a double cuff and it's got these fine little like um, wrinkly
Pleats.
sort of thing on the shirt. It's pleats. Thank you. And you have to wear this whole thing. And my pants were getting quite loose. There's no belt. And my job involved doing 10, 15 minutes of stand up in the middle of this grand ballroom, followed by hosting an awards thing. And my big fear the whole time, the thing is, I could cover up my disaster because my blazer buttoned up so that no one
Hmm.
could see the pants. So it looked like I was at least a buttoned up human being.
Hmm.
But, and I've been having nightmares about this. What if my pants had fallen off? You know, what would have happened if either in the middle of the hosting, luckily in the hosting, I was behind the lectern,
Hmm.
but in the middle of the stand up in a five-star hotel in Mayfair in the middle of London, what if my pants fell off? What would that have been fine? Would that have? I mean, it's not like these guys are going to call me back for hosting. It's a once up, you know, it's not my job. It's just
Hmm.
a thing I do on the side. But, you know, should I be having nightmares about this? You know, I later found out that suspenders are what you wear with
Hmm.
tuxedo pants to hold them up.
Hmm.
I have subsequently bought suspenders, even though I have returned the tuxedo. It was rented,
Hmm. Hmm.
just so that you know I have suspenders in the future if ever I was in a beltless situation. So, I mean, it's one thing when your zip bursts in the middle of the subway because your belly is too big. I mean, nobody next to you is going to be like, you know, you're naked. But here, I would have been naked in front of some of the leading financial barons of London.
Hmm.
Do you have any advice for me? Any thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, I thought, but I guess given the nature of the show, it wouldn't have. But I think in most cases, it might have improved the show. Uh,
It would have
it would have
definitely
definitely been,
improved the
uh,
quality of the
yeah,
evening. Correct.
it would have been pants down your best show. But having said that, I feel that the tension of something, you might, it's a good thing to have the tension of something going wrong. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps you a little bit.
Should I have filled the audience in and said, I'm going to do 5 minutes of British Indian stand up, but also you should be aware
Hmm.
that my pants may fall off? I mean, I know
I
you're here for the 2023 Hedge Fund of the Year award,
hmm.
but there's this other thing going on that you should be aware of.
I think it's better to keep them in the loop because for one, they're expecting it. Like, when is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Even their
And it's
mind is,
one more layer
it's
to
one
the
more layer to
hosting
the
that they would not.
performance. It's
Yeah.
so they are with you. So they are as concerned for your pants as you are. So they're sort of
Yeah.
they're participating in your pain. So that's one way, is to take them onto your side, that listen, we're in this together and all. You all don't want it, I don't want it. Let's just will this to not happen.
And
you know?
also, as an awards show,
Yeah.
they'll remember again. You know, we talk about making memories, and
Yeah.
you'll make this is a memory. You know,
This
this
is a
is a
memory.
significant memory.
Yeah. And I think that, as Alfred Hitchcock has always said, that there should always be the threat of something happening, but it doesn't happen. You know, there's the threat of the bomb
Eh,
going off, but the bomb should never explode. But you should give the audience the information that there is a bomb and it is going to go off. We don't know when, we don't know where. Okay. But it's going to happen. Okay. And the bomb
and do
never goes
you
off.
and do you think that it's better? It should happen at an event where they weren't ready for this kind of tension. They are not ready. They've come to receive
I think it's
a boring
enthralling.
award.
It's enthralling. It's enthralling because that's what true suspense is, and it's not about suspenders. This is about suspense. And what you can do without suspenders is create suspense. Okay? And the suspense of your pants falling or not falling is what keeps the audience engaged. It's what keeps the audience like they're just with you.
Kunaal, this has been our last week.
It has.
And very important announcement, and we'll make a video about this, Kunaal, which you don't know about, but I'll tell you about. 3rd of December, Sunday.
Yes.
You and I are going to be live in Bombay for our audience. Live.
A live
Patreon
slaughter.
subscribers, it's free. Live slaughter. It's free for you. But we will be there in Bombay, in Bandra, at above the Habitat, which I know is a name that fascinates you because it's above the place. the place. But it's just a cool name of a place. It's Sunday, 3rd of December. And I think it's at 8 o'clock at night. And we are very excited to see you.
Yes, so please do join us. We're really looking forward to it. We haven't had a live show in many years, so this is going to be fun. Again, we don't know exactly what we're going to be talking about, but if you bring your own conundrums, maybe we can answer some of those and then just see how it goes. So yeah, do join us.
Join us, and finally we will get to meet face to face. You may never want to meet us again after meeting us face to face. That's what most people say.
Yes.
But at least there is an opportunity.
Yes.
So Bombay, we'll see you on the 3rd of December.
Yes. Bring your suspenders.
Please. Or take your pants off. It's fine.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
You were listening to Our Last Week, produced by Akanksha Kadam and Avdoot Khanolkar, hosted by Anuvab Pal and Kunaal Roy Kapoor.